You were in this courtroom when Mr. Ephron testified that this individual named 12E had a knife during this incident, right?
Yes.
And you're familiar with a summary investigative report related to this case dated August 5th, 2022, sir? Yes?
Yes, I am.
And that's a collective sort of prior statements and a summary of the investigation overall.
That was a filing summary.
And that's what you use to file the case with the district attorney's office.
Correct.
All right. So obviously, in that report, you certainly wouldn't want there to be any accuracies, right?
Correct.
All right.
It just as relates to the crime, yes. Correct.
That's related to the crime.
Yes, sir.
Your name is on that report, right, sir?
My name is on the report.
And what you wrote in the last line, the first page of this report, the collective statements, is that the victim observed Ulanga in the ASAP Illz was armed with a knife. Did you write that?
I didn't author this report.
Okay. Is it in that report?
It is in that report.
Okay. So some police officer wrote that.
Yes.
Who? Do you know?
I believe that was my partner, Detective Frank Flores.
Where'd he go? He used to be there, right?
He was in the back of the property.
He's gone. But he was there. The guy was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, he's been here.
He's
Correct.
running. And it was brought to your attention during the preliminary hearing on November 20th, 2023, that this report said Mr. Ephron identified ASAP Illz as the one armed with a knife. We discussed that in the preliminary hearing, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you thought that that report was inaccurate, you certainly could have asked for that to be changed at any point, correct?
Yes, sir. I mean, but honestly, yes, that was a mistake. But the prior interviews that were recorded of Mr. Ephron from the telephonic interview on the 9th and the in-person interview on December 17th, 2021, he was consistent on both interviews that the person with the knife was, in fact, 12. The report prepared for that August filing, there was an error, and it did indicate the wrong person. That is correct.
Well, as I just asked you, if you thought that report was inaccurate, you could have asked that that be changed, correct?
Yes.
And you never did?
No, I mean, I answered your question. I mean, the record, I think, believe captured through the interviews is clear what Mr. Ephron said versus what our mistake was.
No, it's not my question. Did you change your report?
No, we did not generate another report to correct it. Correct.
So, you were here obviously last Tuesday, January 28th, when Mr. Ephron testified on the record that he saw a knife being held after Rocky put the alleged gun away, correct?
Correct.
All right. And with regard to the knife, Mr. Ephron told police in November of 2021 that he saw the knife being held while Rocky was pointing the alleged gun at him, and he was yelling at Rocky, right?
Correct. I believe that's the way it was described in that crime report.
So while Rocky's holding the alleged gun at him and pointing it at him, he's seeing a knife simultaneously.
You've seen it during that event, correct?
Not during that event. While the gun is being pointed at him, correct?
That's the way it's described in the report, yes, sir.
You also heard Mr. Ephron's testimony last Tuesday, January 28th, that he saw the knife being put away, and he then said, "What the F you got a knife for?" You remember that testimony last week?
Yes, sir.
And in November of 2021, Mr. Ephron told the police that only after he said, "Why you got a knife," did that knife get put away. Recall that?
I don't recall that specifically, sir.
I'll show you a report.
Okay.
It's 77 in our database. It's please follow this investigation report from November 9th, 2021.
Object. Sustained. The objection is sustained.
What was it found for?
It's improper using it as a report.
This is not the proper person to either refute or confirm what Relli, Ephron told some other officer. So the objection is sustained. One second.
saw an arrest warrant on for Mr. Mayers on April 13th, 2022.
Correct, that's the date it was signed.
And to be clear, law enforcement received Mr. Ephron's complaint 5 months earlier, November 8th, 2021.
When we received it, it would have been the 9th, it was, the initial report was taken on the 8th, correct?
The 8th or the 9th, whatever, 9th of November 2021, you guys, PD, like the station house guy, November 8th, right?
Correct.
On that same day, law enforcement received, November 8th, 2 9mm Luger casings from Ms. Ephron.
Correct.
The next day, you along with Detectives Camacho and we spoke to Ms. Ephron again at Len.
Yes, telephonic interview.
By the way, that same day, November 9th, Mr. Ephron told you he decided not to become involved in Rocky's music business any longer. You know what I'm saying that?
Transfer costs are hearsay, overruled.
I believe the statement's left.
And also on November 9th, 2021, law enforcement received surveillance video pertaining to the incident from 1616 East Del Mar
Correct.
and Hollywood Boulevard on November 18th,
Yes.
6200. Yeah, on
Correct.
November 18th. And on November 10th, 2021, law enforcement obtained authorization to search T-Mobile information for Illijah, Ulanga, or ASAP Illz phone number.
Correct, we search warrant.
Sorry.
Yes.
And specifically, the T-Mobile information law enforcement obtained authorized to search Illz, Illijah, Ulanga, ASAP Illz, whatever, his call detail records and his GPS location.
Correct.
And the GPS location data, I should say.
Yes.
And those records, the GPS location data that you all were able to obtain, show that Illijah Ulanga, ASAP Ill's cell phone, was near Selma Avenue in East Del Mar, approximately 10:12 p.m. on November 6th.
I believe that's correct.
And those records also show that Ill's, I'm just going to refer to this Ill's so far, so this along a little bit. ASAP Ill's cell phone was near Mr. Mayor's residence at 11:11 p.m. later that night.
Yes, subsequently after this.
In addition to law enforcement gaining access, by the way, you also gained access to Mr. Ephron's cell phone, correct?
Subsequent to his arrest, the physical phone, yes.
Yes.
No,
No, Mr. Ephron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Correct, he did, voluntarily.
Right. That was in November 2020,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
So you had access to his phone.
Yes, we did.
By the way, did he mention that he had deleted any messages before you had that phone?
I don't remember asking him specifically if he had.
Or did he volunteer?
I don't recall that it was volunteer.
Oh. Particularly with the guy who was making the complaint about this guy, ASAP Rocky, did mention they had deleted messages between him.
Correct, nothing was volunteered as far as that.
And you wouldn't know to ask that, obviously, right?
He was cooperative and provided his phone. We analyzed.
You wouldn't know to ask that, I said.
I wouldn't know.
Right. And the information on that phone contained Mr. Ephron's communications, as far as you knew, with Mr. Mayers, with Illz, and 12.
Correct.
And as of November 2021, law enforcement had Mr. Ephron's statement, 1, correct?
Correct.
Cell phone records, 2, yes.
I believe so, by that point.
Video of the incident.
Some of it is correct.
Well, which video did you not have by the end of November 2021?
At the end of November, correct. I thought you said November 17th, but that's.
No. So, because the last video you got on November 8th, right?
Correct.
So let's again. In the month of November 2021, you had, the collective police officers and law enforcement,
Correct.
had Mr. Ephron's statement. Yes.
Yes, sir?
You had cell phone records in this case.
Yes.
You had video of the incident.
Correct.
And you had 2 shell cases provided by Mr. Ephron.
Correct.
But you still waited another 5 months until April of 2022 to arrest Mr. Mayers.
Yes, I mean, there were other factors involved.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
And during those 5 months, from November 2021 until Mr. Mayer's arrest in April of 2022, law enforcement recovered nothing else, no additional evidence to use against Mr. Mays, correct?
Correct.
In fact, during those 5 months, law enforcement never contacted 12E, never tried to find 12E or contacted him, correct?
No, we never were able to contact him.
Able, did you try?
No, I'm sorry, at that point, no.
Okay. And you understood that 12E was present during the incident, obviously?
Correct. We understood, they were present, they were all appointed.
And obviously, he would be an important potential witness in this case.
Could be.
He was there, right?
Yes, sir?
And you testified as the case detective, it's your job to look for all relevant information, right?
Correct.
So to be clear, you arrested Mr. Mayer without even trying to speak to 12E.
Objection, argument,
Sustained.